All right, everybody. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? This is the day 3 of the MLH Global Hack Week, December. This is my first time streaming, so please bear with me if I make any mistakes. All right. Cool. We do have William, but he is running a little bit over, so while we wait for him, tell me in chat, what are some cryptocurrencies that you have been watching or that you own? Can you let me know in chat? What are some cryptocurrencies? Let's see. Solana, that is a very good one. Ryan Coin, Dogecoin, ETH. We got everything over there. We got our YouTube community as well. Good to have you. Good to have you. Bitcoin worth $2. Wow. Filecoin, Shiba. Yep. Polygon, all very good options. Hydrogen. Cool. So yeah, today we're going to build an awesome Google Sheets dashboard for cryptocurrencies using publicly available APIs that you can use in your own projects. And we're going to show you a little bit about Google Apps Script, what that's about, how to write it, how to run it, and what are the use cases. So while we wait for William to jump in, I've been playing with this ChatGPT bot. Has anyone played with this from OpenAI? Oh, there's William. All right, we'll have a chance to play with this in just a little bit, but let me bring William on the stream.
Hi everyone. What did I miss, Wei?
Oh, we were just hanging out with chat, and everyone's telling me what are some cryptocurrencies that they own and they're working with. So,
Oh man, what does everyone
if,
own?
yeah, they have everything. They have Ryan Coin, they have Solana, they have Dogecoin, ETH, Bitcoin, everything.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
All right. So, did we go through like what we're gonna be building today, or are you just giving them a prompt?
Not just yet. So first things first, if you look at the banner on the very bottom, please make sure you check in. We definitely want to make sure you get the points you deserve. I'm going to also post the check-in link directly in chat here so that you can click on it and hit check-in. I'm actually going to do it also because I want the points.
Uh-huh.
Here it is.
I think I'm gonna shout out to I'm Chandra. I think I
William
need to
Coin.
invest in some William Coin.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, gosh.
Checking link. Yep, I sent the checking link in chat, so please be sure to click on that. It's also on the banner on the very bottom.
And while we're on the check-in link, I'm gonna call out Wei to answer this simple question over here.
I'm doing great. As I said, this is my first time streaming live on MLH stream, so please bear with me if I make any mistakes. But I'm really loving it, and thank you so much for coming to my first ever session. All right.
All right. Did everyone check in? Do we get some thumbs up in the chat?
Yeah. Did everyone get a chance to get your points?
Okay, now I'm getting called out. This is my second stream though, so I'm a lot less experienced in coding than Wei, but statistically more experienced in streaming. So it's a lot of fun. Like I've been wanting to teach people how to do app scripts for a really long time. So Really happy to be here, hanging out with you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun stuff.
All right, perfect. I think we can get started.
All right.
Let me
Take us away,
introduce
Ray.
myself. Yep, let me introduce myself real quick. Hello, everybody. For those of you who have not heard my name, I am Wei. I am a technical program associate here at MLH Fellowship. I use he, him pronouns. And a quick fun fact about me is that I have made almost 10 million pull requests on GitHub. 10 million pull requests. And before you ask, how are you able to do that? I have to be honest. I didn't do it manually, and I didn't do it illegally. I did it through my GitHub app, which is called Pull. If you go to my GitHub page, you'll see the Pull GitHub app, and under there you will see Pull has made almost 10 million, 9.5 million pull requests on GitHub. Yeah, definitely check out this project if you ever work in open source and you contribute to open source projects. With that, let's jump over to William.
I should have really gone first way because I don't know how to follow from that. So I'll start off by saying I have not made nearly 10 million pull requests on GitHub. But hey, I'm William. I do data analytics here at Major League Hacking. I use he, him pronouns. And my very unimpressive fun fact is that I have never watched Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty sad.
Tell him, chat. Tell him, chat.
Tell him, chat. You haven't watched it either, way. I'm calling you out.
You caught me. You caught me. I also have not watched it, unfortunately. If you recommend it in chat, give me a one sentence on why we should watch it.
Yeah, that'll be our homework. I'm seeing a lot of people who haven't watched it either, so now I'm feeling very.
Now you need a new fun fact.
Because it's clearly not that fun. Game of Thrones, I was peer pressured into watching, so on this one here, I'm gonna cop out in that one. I watched all 8 seasons very reluctantly at earlier stage in my life. House of Dragon.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's keep it rolling here. I'll kick it back to you, Wei.
All right. So yeah, the first question we have coming into the session is, what is Google Apps Script? That's a very good question because I had no idea Google Apps Script was called Google Apps Script. So let's go ahead and ask our amazing chatbot from OpenAI, what is Google Apps Script? And tell them, Google Apps Script is a scripting language based on JavaScript. Do we have any JavaScript fans in the chat? Let me know, because I am. It lets you automate and customize Google applications. With Google Apps Script, you can create custom functions and macros for Google Sheets. Just like you can do with like Excel, with Microsoft Excel, you can do it directly on Google Sheets. You can integrate with all kinds of other Google services, and it allows you to write powerful and complex scripts to interact with all kinds of services and data. Yeah, we got a lot of JavaScript fans in the chat. Awesome, I'm happy. All right, and what you might ask is, how much does it cost? Let's see what OpenAI says. It is completely free to use. There you go. We're teaching you something that is completely free. You can work with it, use it on your own after the session.
I'm loving this open API stuff. Like, you're getting so much.
Yeah, this open API is amazing. We'll get a chance at the end to ask any questions from the chat. Throw it at OpenAI and see what are the other questions they can ask. Before then, I will actually show them, like after you write your code, I will show them how OpenAI can debug or step through your code and explain everything. Look forward to that. All right. Next, oh, before I forget, there may be a swag drop involved at the end. So pay attention and stick to the end.
Incredible. All right. So,
Incredible, incredible. Let's hand it over to William, um, who will show us how to create what we're going to create today.
all right. Thank you so much, Wei. So let's hop over here and show you the finished product. So, should I be like on the Zoom calls when they're like, "Oh, can everyone see my screen?" I'm gonna just assume you can see it because I can see it on Twitch. So, all right, all right. So, this is a sample portfolio, like assuming hypothetically that Wei owned 5 different cryptocurrencies. We want a live updating view of how much Wei owns, how much he paid for them, what's the cost, and based on that, we can then pull in what is the market price of all of these cryptos. And based on the amount he owns, what's the market value of his holdings, and how much is he currently losing? I mean, what's his total gain or loss on all of these cryptos? And if he wanted to invest in some more, he could have also a live updating view of what are the top 10 cryptos. So, like if I refresh this page, theoretically, it should give me up to date market prices. And if we give this 2 seconds, it's going to start refreshing with the top 10 cryptos. Wow, that was pretty cool, right, Wei?
Yeah, that's amazing. I wish I had a dashboard like that.
Who wants to guess how we got this data in here? Who wants to tell me which Google built-in Google Sheets formula gives us the market price for Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin? Got anyone in the chat? Let's see if we have any spreadsheet mavericks in here.
Yeah, I know there's a Google Finance formula that I've seen before. Can you show us maybe? Let's see if anybody in chat knows. Yeah, somebody mentioned it.
Siddharth, Google search of sorts. I'm seeing someone said stock. All right, so I think the popular choice here is Google Finance. So we're gonna run with Google Finance, and we're gonna use Dogecoin as an example here, right? So if I come in here and I say equals Google Finance, what does Google Finance ask me to put in as parameters? Let's put in the little help box that I absolutely never use at work. And we're gonna see how it advises us. So I have to put in the ticker, and then I have to say price. And I'm not gonna bother to pull in all of the days. I'm gonna assume that this stuff is gonna default automatically. So I'm gonna say, hey, Google Finance, give me the price for, let's start with a stock, for example, Google. Since we're talking Google software today, and we'll go with price. So what's the current market price for one share of Google stock? Boom, $97.77. Not bad, right? Let's change that up a little bit and make it a little bit more dynamic. So instead of typing in the ticker, I'm going to do what we call a reference in Google Sheets, and I'm just going to go A8. So in cell A8, we have Doge. So I'm going to type in A8. I don't have to change the thing every time. And it broke. So Google Finance, yes, it works for stocks and some other publicly traded assets, but not really for cryptocurrencies. So, Wei, how do you think we're going to tackle this? What is the thing we're learning about again?
APIs.
APIs, you're right. So we're going to need an API, and Wei is going to tell us what an API is before I start playing around with some.
All right. So let me get rid of the comment real quick. Has anyone heard of REST APIs? Let me know in chat if you have used REST APIs before in your projects. Okay, we got some yeses in chat. Great. Let me go ahead and show you a cool graphic and analogy provided by our one and only Arslan. So if you haven't used REST APIs before, you can think of it as like a restaurant, right? Restaurant example. If you visit a place for food, you interact with the waiter to order your food. You don't really go to the kitchen and grab the food yourself. So the key person here are you, which is on the left, the kitchen on the right, and the middleman, which is the waiter, right? You give the food order to the waiter. The waiter goes to the kitchen and places an order. Once the food is ready, the kitchen gives it back to the waiter, and the waiter gives it back to you. So as you can see here, the waiter is the REST API in our analogy, right? You're always interacting with a waiter to retrieve some data in this case, in our case.
Wait, so we're not using it to take a rest away? Is what you're saying? I think someone mentioned
Yeah.
that in chat.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll take back the mic for a second, and I'm gonna close the little sheet that had all of the answers on it, and you guys are all going to help me build that crypto dashboard that we're just looking at from scratch. So let me go back and share. But before I do that, open up any browser window, and I'll give you guys a minute. Think of your favorite browser, and it could be Firefox, Google Chrome if we want to be biased. It could be DuckDuckGo. I think Microsoft has one, Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer if that still exists. We have a lot of possibilities. And within any browser, we're going to type in the address bar sheets.new. And I'll wait for you guys to do that for a second. Edge, you're getting some love for Edge in the comments. What else we got?
Does anybody use Brave? That's a pretty good one. Yep. I see them in chat.
Chrome for the win. Brave Vivaldi. I've never heard of that one. Brave. Oh, some Arc sometimes. Opera. Again, some good web browsers. I used to think this was specific to Google Chrome, like this was a little shortcut that Google built, but then our friend Wei over here showed me that you can basically do this from your cell phone if you wanted, I guess. And
Yeah. So believe it or not, Google bought the global GTLD top level domain .new, and Google Registry is actually selling them. So if you look at some examples here, Google works like if you want to open a new Google Doc, you can just do docs.new, sheets.new, slides.new. GitHub, you can do gist.new. You can even do repo.new and create a new GitHub repository. And they have quite a bit of examples, like different types of services or companies bought those domains so that you can just type that simple thing, for example, repo.new, and it will redirect you to GitHub to create a new repository. So there are a number of companies that do this. This is very simple, very easy to use. And if you want to buy one, you can do so as well. It's $500 a year. I don't recommend it, but.
Oh boy. All right. So I'm assuming everyone has opened up Brave or Opera or Edge and they type sheets.new. A small caveat of this is that you need to have a Google account if you don't already have that. I'm assuming that you took the time whilst Wei was showing us how much we could pay for a top level domain to set up a Google account. No, this is not a paid ad from Google. It's just something you need to get started. So I'm gonna open up this empty spreadsheet real quick. And this is what it starts with, a blank sheet. It's like the artist, a blank canvas on which you can create so many different possibilities. So we're going to create app script today. So how do I get to app script, one might ask? You come up here in the top bar where you see untitled spreadsheet, file, edit, view, all of that fun stuff. You click on extensions, and then it produces a list that looks something like this. And you go down to app script and click on that. I'm gonna let everyone do that for me. Remember, you go to, if I come back to here, I go to extensions, app script. And this is what we want to see. If we click that, it should bring up an untitled project. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. It should open up something that looks like this. Real basic, just a function, my function, with nothing in it. I'll give you guys a minute to get to that real quick. Let us know. Give us a little thumbs up in the chat if you have a little code editor open up. If it's a different color from mine, or if it's just taking really long to load, there's one or two cases where it just loads forever. What you want to do is you want to close both tabs and reopen the tab that you just had, and it magically works from there. It's a weird quirk. But you should be on this little empty function.
All right, maybe we can zoom in the browser a little bit.
Wait, throwing wrenches in the works, huh? Oh, look at that. We can zoom in.
Beautiful.
All right. I think this is as big as it gets for me to show all of the code on the screen. I can't see in white. I need in dark mode. Yeah, so the dark mode thing is something I did. There was like a Chrome extension you can use to change the color of your app script. But for everyone that hasn't used this already, it's going to show up in white. I recommend using sunglasses for the dark mode fans. But nevertheless, let's get started. So we are going to overwrite the existing library of functions in Google Sheets. So let's say I had a ticker and I put BTC in it. If I typed in equals Google Finance and tried
We can't see the Google Sheets. We can see the app script. Yep.
There we are.
There you are.
If I came back here and I wanted to type in ticker BTC Google Finance and I typed in BTC and all that, it would give me something really weird. If I wanted to create my own function, let's call it crypto price. And in this world, I would have a magical function that passes in BTC as a parameter. And what it should do is give me back the price. But now it breaks. And why does it break? Because this is an unknown function. So what we're going to do is hit delete on that guy. And we're going to come back to our code editor. And we're going to create that. So I'm going to rename this function to call it crypto price. And we're going to start coding. What do we put in here? Let's call it ticker, I guess. If anyone has any more creative names they want to name it. And all right. So what's the first thing we do? We need to use that restaurant example that Wei created, which is I have a crypto ticker, but I need to get the price from someone. So the crypto ticker is my order. And now I need a waitress or waiter or server. Hey, Wei, do I have any useful ways of getting like crypto prices? Like, do you have any APIs you recommend?
I know there's a cool GitHub repository that we can check. It's called Public APIs. Yeah, have you heard of that one before?
I think I have a couple of times.
All right, let's check it out.
APIs. What's that?
Yeah. So if you go to this URL, you will see that This is a GitHub repositories with 219,000 stars. No wonder you've seen it before. This is a huge, huge repository. And if you scroll down to the README, you'll see free a collective list of free APIs to use, public APIs, to use in software and web development. And you'll see an index with all kinds of different categories. So in our case, we will jump over to cryptocurrency.
Oh,
Voila.
there's a section for anime in there too. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got to check it out after. So if you look at cryptocurrency, you see like there's a bunch of them in the list. And I've actually used some of them before. And one of the key things I look for, just for prototyping purposes, is public APIs that do not require authentication. This means I don't have to register for an account or get an API key or things like that. So I can just use it directly. And one of the APIs that I have used in the past is called, let me find it, Crypting Up. You see, it provides cryptocurrency data. There's no authentication required, and it supports HTTPS. So let's click on that one and take a look. Here's the documentation page for Crypting Up. So what are you trying to get, William? What are some data you're trying to get?
Is there anything for the price if I give it a ticker symbol?
So let's take a quick look here. I think they call it assets and get a specific asset. There you go. Here's an example.
Ooh.
So this is their REST API that we talked about. By making a get cryptingup.com API assets with the ID, you can retrieve the price, volume, change information directly from their API. So let's try this. Let's do maybe Crypting Up assets BTC, and there it is. We get the asset ID,
Ooh.
we get the price, change, volume, and everything. So I think this is all you need. What do you think?
It is all I need. All right, so
Yeah.
so do you want to explain what JSON is really quickly? Like why are some
Yeah,
of the labels green? Like why is it formatted like that?
for sure. So I have a plugin called JSON Viewer. JSON is a data format for those of you who haven't used it before, to transport data in transit. It is almost like a JavaScript object if you've used JavaScript before, or a Python dictionary. You can take a look and you see key value pairs of data, right? So for example, there's an asset object inside there. We have quotes for different currencies. We can scroll down, collapse it, and we can see the asset ID, name, description, etc. of this crypto asset. This is very, very useful because this is a standardized format for data transportation. And it's language agnostic, which means you can use it in any programming language of your choice, which includes Google Apps Script.
Awesome. Thanks, Wei, for that little primer on. So now we know what an API is. We know what Google Apps Script is. We know what JavaScript is. And we have an API that we can now use to put everything together. So let me go back to my screen really quickly, and we can jump back into the code we just write. All right. So we were back here with this BTC, and we were trying to figure out how to get the price. So I'm going to come over here, and I have my little code editor. And now that I know the ticker, I know what I'm trying to get. I'm going to say, oh, thanks for that handy link way. I can use that. So I can say let price equals. And the thing about Google Apps Script is they provide some nice libraries for us to make API calls. So we're going to use what we call URL fetch app. It comes up right there if you're having trouble spelling it. Use a little camel case for like that's like we're all familiar with from like JavaScript or Java. And from the URL fetch app library that comes with Google Apps Script, we're going to call the fetch function. And what are we fetching? So I'm going to use that nice little API that Wei just provided, https:// what is it, cryptingup.com, not .org.com/API. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. API/assets. /. And for those familiar with how JavaScript strings work, I need to put the ticker at the end because I want this to work for whatever ticker I give it. So I'm going to add a little plus sign, and I'm going to type ticker. And for the fans of semicolons, I know it's not necessarily needed, but by habit, we type it in anyways. We put that little semicolon. It's like tying a bow on a present. Makes it look nice and complete, but you don't have to do that. So for everyone else, this is the first line of code we're going to write. Just let the price, or I should say not price. I should probably name it something else like the response I get from this API, because that would give me that big section of JSON code that Wei just showed us. So I say, let my response equal that. And if we remember, this block of code, if done correctly, is going to return that big JSON dictionary that we just saw. However, we can't really process the JSON objects as is. We need to convert it into a JavaScript associated array. So luckily, there is another Google Apps Script library that allows us to do that. Well, I think this is rather a JavaScript library, but nonetheless, we don't have to do anything ourselves. We can just say let parsed response. Oop, I spelled response wrong. Equals JSON dot parse. And we're going to pass in that little response object we got just now. And we're going to button it up with a little semicolon. And with that, I'll pause and double check that no one's having trouble in the chat. Send us a little thumbs up if you're writing some code already.
This looks awfully similar to JavaScript.
Yeah, it's basically AppScript is like spicy JavaScript, if I were to describe it like nicely. It's you take normal JavaScript, you add in sprinkle in some Google AppScript libraries, make it run natively in a Google browser on your spreadsheet, and voila. All right, we got some up in the crowd, so like let's go ahead and finish this. So like any other JavaScript function, what is the last thing that we need? A return type. So let's return something. At the end of the day, I need to get back some data from this. So I parsed that little JSON object that this API so graciously gave me. And if I remember correctly, it was I needed to go get asset. And within the asset, I need to get the price.
Perhaps we can log out the parse response. We can show everybody how to print out.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, just to see what it looks like.
So let's just return the parsed response for a second. And I'm going to create another function down here called script runner. And within here, I'm going to say let parsed response equals crypto price with a little BTC in the little parameters. And to print out stuff in Google Apps Script, I would use logger.log. And I will log the parse response. And if I save that, Here, I go to script runner, and I'll run it. And then it's going to ask me for some permissions. So I'm just going to say, yes, you're allowed to connect to an external service, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, it's going to give me this beautiful mess of data that I have no idea what I'm doing with. It says, okay, asset equals blah, blah, blah. So it's giving me some data.
It looks the same as what I showed you earlier, right, on my screen.
Yeah, I think Wei's editor was a lot prettier. But Wei, if you want to go back, if you still have that open, you could probably show it to them in the more elegant fashion.
Well, in the meantime, let's answer this question. Can you take this?
What does .gs mean? It's like Google's script, I think.
Yeah, it's just Google's naming. That's what they picked as
Yeah.
a file extension for any script that is written in Google Apps script, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. I never even paid attention to that.
And here is the same thing again. You see the asset and you see all the different variables under asset. So I think what we're trying to get is the price. Does that sound about right? The price for
Sounds
Bitcoin?
right.
All right, perfect. Let's hop back.
All right, all right. So now that I know what that looks like, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this runner for a second. I'm going to come back here, and we're going to go through the different levels of that dictionary that Wei just showed us. So that you have to open up the asset. Once the asset's open, you get the price. Straightforward enough. In only 3 lines of code. Amazing. So if I were to go back to my little spreadsheet, and let's try this again. Let's say equals crypto price. And I pass in A2 as a parameter. So I can drag this formula down later on in life. It's complaining. But little did it know that we wrote a handy dandy script for this that now gave us the price for
Wow.
it. Wow. That's exciting. Let's see some thumbs ups in the chat if anyone is able to get to here. I'll give you
That's
guys
beautiful.
a second.
Yeah. Can you zoom in on this one also, just a little bit? Oh, we got some thumbs up. All right, we got an error. Please comment in chat what you got, and we can try to help you. Oh, we got a few folks successfully completing this function. Maybe you can switch back to the screen, the app script, just real quick, so that, yeah. Okay, so here's an error somebody got. Request failed, asset not found.
Just remember to put in the correct ticker symbol.
Yep. So we got a couple folks responding with that. So yeah, as William said, 2 things to keep in mind. Make sure you have a ticker when you define the function on line 1. Also, make sure when you call the function on the Google Sheets side, you are supplying the actual ticker or the reference to a cell containing the ticker. So William had BTC. You can change it to a cryptocurrency ticker that is supported by crypto price. What is a ticker? An example ticker would be BTC or ETH or Doge, DOGE.
Yeah, the ticker is the name of that little thing over here. So like in this case, it's BTC. If I wanted to, let's see, what were the other tickers we
Can you
used?
show the Google Sheets?
Up. 1 second, let me go back to the Google Sheet. And what were the tickers we were using again?
We have
We're using
Solana, SOL.
Using Ethereum Classic and Doge, right?
Yep, exactly.
So if we wanted, we could drag this down because I'm using a cell reference here. I can just drag this and it gives me the prices for all of these.
Awesome.
In case anyone has never used a spreadsheet before, I'll do that real slow. When you're in this cell, assuming that you have A2 inside of this little parentheses, if you notice the bottom right corner of the box has a little block here. When I hover over it, it turns into a plus sign. If I drag down on it, click and drag, it copies that formula down. So now so if I had a list of like 1,000 cryptos, I could just do that in one click instead of having to manually retype it every time. All right. No Ryan coin. Let's try Ryan coin. Should we do Ryan or should we totally not Ryan? See if TNR has a crypto price. Oh
Let's
no.
see.
What about Ryan? Ryan Swift?
It's not
No?
taken yet. We gotta make it now.
We gotta make it. That's your guys' homework. You gotta make Ryan coin to add to your portfolio along with the less popular William coin. And with that, if we remember correctly, this is just Wei's cryptocurrencies and the prices for them. But on the right side, we wanted to get something like the top 10 cryptos. Something like that, top 10 cryptos today.
Yeah, that's the dashboard I'd like on the right. But before that, I think I want to list out my quantity for each ticker, so that we can see how much I'm winning or losing.
All right, so let's do price, and then we had how much you had. Quantity, you had 0.005 of BTC, you had 0.1 of ETH. How many you had of Solana again?
Solana, I have 1 Solana.
Good for
Not
you.
too much.
Like 2 Ethereum Classic and then like 500.
And I have 500 Doge. I'm waiting for it to get to 1.
Still waiting for that $1.
We have a quick request in chat. Could you show the crypto function again?
All right, I can do that.
Crypto price function again. Yeah. Yeah, and we are recording this, so if you want to refer back to it, you can definitely do so.
All right. So let's come back to the sheet and let's just do some real quick. Let's do. How much did you pay for these? Like, what's your?
Oh my
average
gosh, you don't want to know.
Well,
BTC, I thought it was the bottom. It was around $40,000. That was the average price when I
big spender.
bought it. Yeah, that's crazy.
4,
and
000.
Ethereum, unfortunately, 4,000. Yep. Solana was around 50. I know it kind of blew up. All right, let's see. ETC was 65, and then I paid 2 cents for Doge. So that's a winner.
All right. So if we do total cost, it's just this guy versus this guy. And then, Google Sheets, so sophisticated with suggested autofill. So if I press Command and then press Enter, that was pretty. I don't even have to click and drag this little box down anymore. So your cost was this, and we know the market price. So that's what's the market value is equal to the price by the amount that you had. I could do this fancy command, enter again. All right. So let me add some space. And what is your total gain/loss? So I want the market value of, it's what you paid for it versus the market value. Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg? I think it's market value minus what you paid. Okay,
Yep.
so like this tells me if you're gaining or losing on crypto. Hey, you won something on Dogecoin. Look at that.
Well, once it gets to 1, it will cover all the losses of my 4 other holdings, right?
Absolutely. And with that
Perfect.
multi-generational wealth, you may not
I'm
even need to
just,
work
yeah.
with MLH.
I'm just glad I don't have FTX.
Shots fired, Wei. Shots fired. All right. So speaking of FTX though, like going back to that top 10 cryptos, like could we get some way of like advising you on which cryptos you probably should be buying?
Yeah, that's
Is there a API for that?
well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. I know we've just used the previous API from Crypting Up, but I want to show you some other APIs that are out there. So let's go back to cryptocurrency, and another one that I have seen before was called CoinCap, real-time cryptocurrency prices through a RESTful API. Well, there's our keyword here.
Sounds
Let's click
straightforward
on,
enough.
yeah. And the best part, no authentication required, and it supports HTTPS. So let's try that. Well, we have some advice in chat. Definitely don't buy Luna. So everybody, do not buy Luna.
Oh gosh. Let me answer this one. Yes, we are recording this so you can reference it later.
Yep, perfect. And let's take a quick look. This is their API. What are some options here? So if I want to get the top 10, maybe most traded or current cryptocurrencies in the market. So would it be under markets, you think? We can try that.
Let's try that.
So markets, okay, so let's see. So CoinCap has an endpoint called /markets, and it takes in a number of different uh, uh, parameters in the request. So exchange ID, for example, base symbol, this is the response, quote symbol. It looks very useful. So I have a lot of my holdings on Binance. So maybe let me just use Binance as the exchange ID and see if it works. Let me open a new tab. Oh, you've seen I've done this before, right? I've used this API. It works pretty well. So what I'm going to provide it are 2 parameters, exchange ID and symbol. You might not be able to see it, so I'm going to send this URL in the chat. So basically what this URL does is it gives me all the cryptocurrencies on the Binance exchange from the base symbol BTC to quote symbol USDT. So I want to get the US dollar amount for every single one of these cryptocurrencies. So you see here we have BTC, BUSD, which is a Binance stablecoin, ETH, XRP, Doge, etc. So these are some top traded cryptocurrencies on Binance, and the more liquidity, the better, right? So they should be a little bit safer. I think I want to use this. Sound good? Okay, someone is asking, can you tell me about the JSON Prettier extension? So if you go to the Chrome extension store, Chrome Web Store, if you're using a Chromium-based browser, you can search for JSON Viewer. And I think this is the one I'm using. So you can try them out. You can look at some of the screenshots they have and see which one you like the best. If anyone has any favorites in chat, please let me know. All right, now it's time to open up William's sheet. Give it 200%. And let's write a cryptocurrency function. Maybe we'll call it market data. We'll call the function market data, and it's going to return the top 10 most active cryptos on Binance. So let's do that. Let me open up AppScript again. Perfect. And we're going to call the function market data. Market data. Okay. Is everybody with me? Give me a thumbs up in chat. All right. So what I'm thinking this function does is I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. I'm going to call it market data. All right. Inside this market data sheet, I want to populate 10 rows of the most traded cryptocurrencies on Binance. And how can we do that? Any suggestions, anybody? Take a look in chat. Let me pin this API URL that we found earlier. And copy it. So I'm going to do the same thing that William did. So basically, I'm going to make a API request just like this. Copy. Easy enough. Disconnected. Oh, I'm back. Okay, cool. All right. Let response equals URL fetch app. And this time we're going to fetch this URL. And we'll do the same thing, parse the JSON response. Now let's log out what the response looks like. So we can use logger.log parsed response. And save. Once you save it, you can see this under the dropdown and hit run. Authorization required. Let me authorize that. And whoa, you see the logging output is a little bit too large. But we can use our JSON viewer plugin. You can see that the data that's returned follows the format of data array. So if you look at the raw JSON here, there's a data key, and inside there we have an array of cryptocurrencies. We have BTC, we have BUSD, etc. So yeah, what we can do is, yeah, data rank, that's a good one. What we can do is, for crypto, right? Actually, let me do a loop because I only want top 10, right? So let me just create a let I equals 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. This will loop between 1 and 10. Okay.
Oh, so it's giving you a pre-sorted list, right, Wei?
Yeah. So you don't have to do things like I plus 1, because I used to just do I equals 0, I less than 10. But then I find, if I need to display that index, I have to do I plus 1, and that is cumbersome. So now, for now, I've just been using this. I equals 1, I less than or equals to 10, and this will give me 1 through 10.
See, this is why you have 10 million pull requests on GitHub. He knows all the little hacks.
You, well, I know some. Here and there. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the cryptocurrency data from our parsed response. So we'll get. So if you notice here, the data parsed response, not this one. The parsed response gives us data, and then this array of cryptocurrencies. So what we can do is crypto equals parsed response dot data, and then we can specify the index. Okay. No, I'm doing I minus 1 here because I want to get BTC first, and our first index is 1, so we're going to just access it using I minus 1.
Wait, so arrays in JavaScript start with 0?
Are you are you joking? This is
Oh, man.
not like MATLAB.
Let's take this to the streets. Let's go to the comments. Wait, like, where should arrays start from? Should they start from 0 or 1?
0 or 1? Oh my gosh.
Tell us in the chat, where should arrays start from? From 0 or 1?
William says an excellent poker face.
0.5. I love to see it.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with 0.5.
That's awesome.
They increase
That's
in
awesome.
increments of 0.25. Okay,
All right.
so I think the popular opinion is array should start from 0, and that's why Wei is doing I minus 1. So his array would start from 0, and he'd get the first one. I'll kick it back to you.
Yep. Yep. So now we have the first crypto. What I want to do is I want to add the crypto to the market data sheet. So there are some data points I want. So for example, I want to know the symbol, which is BTC in this case. And we want to know the price, which is price USD, looks like it's called. And we want to get the volume because I want to know like how much USD has been traded over the last 24 hours. All right. So what we can do is first we grab the sheet by name. So you notice we created a Google spreadsheet called market data, right? So Google Apps Script has a helper function that helps us get to that sheet. We can do that by defining a new variable called market data sheet, and we'll use spreadsheet app get active spreadsheets.
Oh, Google Sheets has a lot of stuff built in.
Yeah, you see all the tooltip? That's amazing. All right. And then lastly, we'll get our sheet by name. Get sheet by name. So make sure you spell it out. Get sheet by name. And the name of our sheet is market data. Now we have our market data sheet. What we can do then is use a helper function called append row under market data sheet. And append row takes, as you can see here, a array of objects. So you can append things like 3 strings. And that's exactly what we want. So we first want to return the number. So in this case, it's I, that is the index.
Wait, we're not returning a man, a plan, and Panama?
That would be good. That would be sweet. Well, maybe in 10 years, when my Doge is finally won, I will buy you an island. How's that?
Let's do that.
All right. So what is the next thing I want? I said I want a base symbol, right? BTC. So I can do crypto dot base symbol. All right. And then the next thing I want is the price USD. Price USD. And finally, the volume. I do want to see how widely traded the cryptocurrency is. So here's the volume in the last 24 hours. All right, so here's a quick recap. We're using this URL fetch app to retrieve the API response for the market data at Binance. And we created a market data sheet that references the Google Sheet, and we're appending to it for the top 10 cryptocurrencies.
All right, so now that we have this code open, let's see if someone beat Wei in the chat. Do we have anyone who got this whole set of code running? Let's give the audience.
I better hurry. Yeah.
I don't think anyone can code as fast as Wei codes.
Well, I don't know about that. I make a lot of mistakes, so yeah, I always have to go back.
All good. We all do it.
All right. Cool. Does anyone have any questions so far? Yeah, some folks are following along. That's fine. If you're I'm too fast, that's all right. Once you kind of understand what we're doing here, it is super, super easy to find your own public API and to make the dashboards that you want to make. All right, cool. So why don't we try to run this? What do you think?
Let's do it. Wait, did we write? Oh, we found. So let's see. Let me see. We got the data from the API. We parsed it. We got the data sheet that we want to write to.
Yep.
And then we looped through the data and wrote to the sheet. Oh, that looks good to me.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look and see what can go wrong. Hit run. Market data. Execution started. And in 4 seconds, execution completed. Now let's head back to our spreadsheet. Wow. As you can see under the market data tab, you see it, William?
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow. What I'm seeing here is like, I would love it if there's like a header to kind of show us what the numbers mean.
Can you write the header into the app script there? Is that something we can do?
So let's take a look here. We're appending rows with the data, but we could just append rows, call it the first time before all the data comes in and supply all the headers. What do you think?
Oh man, they let you do anything with app script.
So yeah, let's try this. Let's try this. So the first column, let's just call it rank for now. I'll use double quotes to be consistent. And then the next one is the symbol. And then it's the price in USD, right? Not USB. Lastly, it is
USB for US Bahaj way.
that I would buy that. Bahaj coin. Yep. Volume. Yeah. So volume 24 hours. Maybe I can do that just to be explicit. Does this look good, everybody? So we first append a header row, basically with the 4 labels, and then we loop through and append the data afterwards.
Awesome. So let's see how it comes all together then.
Yeah, okay, let's run this. Okay, so we do have our headers, but it is on row 11.
Ah,
Why is
I mean,
that? Does
we should
anybody
have
know?
probably cleared the contents of the sheet before we started writing to it again.
I see. I see. So yeah, so let's do that. Once when we run the script, let's clear the sheet so that we always start from the top row. Does that sound good? Let's do that.
Sounds good.
Um, let's see if there's anything in the like in the Google App Script that can help me here. So maybe clear contents, market data sheet, clears the sheets of content. Perfect. I think this is exactly what we need. And it also preserves formatting information. That's perfect. Okay, let's hit run. And boom, that's awesome.
Ooh. All right. So we have some data from the market. We have some data on your portfolio. We're
Yeah,
cooking.
how do yeah, let's see. Did anybody have any trouble getting this market data onto the sheet? Any questions? Let me get rid of that banner and swap it out.
We're getting called out, Way. I think our script is a little too rehearsed. I wonder what
I don't know.
happens now.
I don't think we rehearsed this part, to be honest.
No, we absolutely did not rehearse any of this. We're doing this off the
No.
cuff.
Yeah. All right. Cool, 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 cool. So what is next? We need to bring it together onto my, let me call this sheet dashboard. Okay. Top 10 cryptos today. I think you taught me this, William. There's a very handy shorthand to kind of import data from another sheet into this one using the bracket notation, right?
Yeah.
Does this look right? So we can do
So far.
this. I don't know if you can see it very well. Make it a little bit bigger. Oh, there you go. And then we can select the top 10 market data and close bracket. Boom. This is now shown right on my dashboard. That's awesome. I think this is a
Awesome.
shorthand for like import data, right? So if,
Yeah.
for those of you who prefer the long form, you can do import data, maybe URL. Do I have to provide the same URL? Import range. Yeah, there you go. And provide this URL, and we can select the same range, and yeah, we get an error. So
You
don't
just
use
gotta
this.
put the URL in quotes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we get the idea.
Yeah, we got the idea. So that's another way to do it. But this is much simpler. I love it. I've never used this before, but I'm gonna use it in the future.
All right, all right. And Polaroid was right. Now for pretty colors.
Yep. We got a B for
Yeah,
acting.
B plus
B
for
plus.
acting, man.
B
Oh
plus.
gosh.
Perfect. I love it. I'll take it.
um, one more thing before we make the pretty colors. Um, if I just come back to my screen for a second, I'll show you guys how to make this refresh. So right now, this is pretty static. For in order to refresh the data on the screen for the top 10 cryptos, Wei is going to have to go in to his code and manually click on run. So if I share, I'll show you guys how to have that refresh for you. Let's go back. Where was it? My untitled spreadsheet. And let's just pop the screen. Yeah, it's coming. There we go. All right. So now we're back. So we come up here to extensions. We go back to app script once more, and we come back here. Oh, someone wrote more code in here. That's awesome. And
Yeah,
over
we can't see the apps script. Maybe you can hop over to the other tab.
Yep.
Perfect.
And then I come over to here on the left side, and I click on app script. There's overview editor, and there's this little thing called triggers. So if I click on that, I can go down to the bottom right to this big blue button that says add trigger. And I can trigger this to refresh that top 10 cryptos every time someone opens the sheet. So I hit add trigger. I want to run that market data function that our friend Wei just wrote. Just leave that as is for now. We do from spreadsheet on open. It's not going to fail, so you don't need to notify me daily because Wei wrote the code, so we know it's going to work. And we save, and it's going to ask me to give it permission to see all of my spreadsheets and all that fun stuff. And then bam, we have a trigger here. So if I come back to the main sheet now and I hit refresh, in about 4 seconds or so, it's going to start refreshing the top 10 cryptos and spit them all out. There you go. All one by one. So now you have a really live dashboard of all your cryptos. In the interest of time, I'm getting a comment here. Yes, Wei, please show us the code. Also, which city you're born in and what's your pet's name. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of questions. I don't know how I feel about this. What code are you talking about? Are you talking about my credit card security code or social security code? Or do you want to see the app script again?
We can show them the app script again.
Yeah, I have something cool to show everybody right now, actually.
Oh, I think your stuff would probably be cooler.
Okay, so we just wrote this code, right? And if you are still a little bit confused at what this code is doing, we can start with this one. If you're confused about what this code is doing, you can go to our ChatGPT bot and say, can you explain this code? Come on. You were working before? Okay, so let's try a different tab. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, this code defines a fetch function called crypto price that takes the stock ticker as an input, uses the URL fetch app built in to send a request, and it even shows us an example of how to use this piece of code. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, ChatGPT is insane. What's even more insane is I wrote a prompt earlier, right here. Write a Google Apps script function named crypto price that takes in the ticker and makes a get API request to crypting up.
No way.
It's a response.asset.price. Take a look. Come on.
Nah, it's not gonna do that.
Is that amazing? That's the exact same thing that you wrote. The only thing I noticed is, yeah, see, asset that price. Yeah, that's exactly what you wrote, and it even gives you an example of how to use it. Isn't that amazing?
All right, I've been coding wrong this whole time.
You just tell it what you need, and I'm going to tell it to kind of explain our function, market data function here, and see what it gives me. And you explain this code to me line by line. Give it a second. We might, oh, there you go. Yeah, so if you have any questions on what this piece of code is doing, you can just ask ChatGPT, and it gives you a very good overview of what everything's doing, line by line, as well as an overview of what's happening. See that?
That's pretty cool.
I know.
Line by line.
Yeah,
Yeah, AI is gonna take over soon.
yeah, I know. I know. If you have a piece of code you don't know about, like I was working with some assembly questions at our fellowship CTF, and I was a little bit confused at what things are. I just asked ChatGPT. So those of you in the fellowship, stay tuned.
Pretty cool. All right, all right. So I think in the interest of time, we'll skip over the pretty colors. You get the idea of it. We could just remove the grid lines, change the background to blue, change the text color to white. I'll leave you guys to do that as your homework. But Wei has a fun announcement for you guys that you're probably gonna
Well,
wonder.
so yeah, somebody had been asking about swag drops. Is anybody into swag drops this Global Hack Week? Let me know in chat if you want one or you want one. Yes, everybody wants a swag drop. So here's a quick activity we're going to do to pick the winner of our exclusive swag drop. Let's head over to public APIs, look through the list, and see what is an API that interests you and how you're going to build a Google Sheet dashboard. It doesn't have to be cryptocurrency, but take a look at what are the options out there and think of what is the cool Google Sheets dashboard that you will build. We do have under challenges a daily challenge called Hack with Google Sheets. So if you give me a cool idea in chat, maybe William, we can vote on it and see who gets the swag drop. So take a look at public APIs. What are some cool APIs there are, and what would be a cool Google dashboard to create? Send that to me, and we will vote.
All right, all right. Well, I think that's
And
everything, Wei.
yeah, and if anybody has any other prompt you want me to try on the OpenAI, please also feel free to send that in chat. I've been asking it all kinds of questions. Do you have anything, William, you want to know, or you
I'm
wanted to
still
do?
baffled that it's teaching me how to write code. Like I've been doing this wrong the whole time.
I was so surprised as well.
I wonder if it's a chicken and egg thing where you just told it how to write the function, and then you asked it how to write the function, so it like already knows. Like if I ask it how to write a function like that I've never written before, maybe someone else has written a similar function.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, uh, yeah, I mean that's what how Google or GitHub Copilot works, right? If somebody else has written a function, it learns about it and formats it and gives you an example. Um, so yeah, we can try it, but I didn't give it this function, so it's also like context aware, so it's awesome. Do you have any functions that you want to write? Any work you have to do for the rest of today? We can ask ChatGPT to take care of for us.
I would prefer to get Shub's answer here on like using Anime Network,
Oh, oh, sorry.
Anime News Network to keep up with new animes which are about to get released.
That sounds like a cool dashboard. A lot of people like anime. There's more than the letter. Yeah,
Can
we
we
have
get
free anime. Yeah,
ChatGPT to write that API call for us?
let's see. Uh, well, we'll see. So use Anime News Network to keep up with the new animes which are about to get released. We have to be a little bit more specific than that, right?
You have the endpoint for
Anime
the API?
dashboard. Yeah, so let's take a quick look. Animes. What's a good one? Anime News Network.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Title. Mhm. These are XML formats. Several titles at once. Okay, we have someone asking, get a dashboard of top 10 selling manga anime every 10 years. That's a slow dashboard, slow updating dashboard. Okay, cool. On the reports page, anime manga list, API, maybe this.
Ooh.
So yeah, so we have an XML API and vintage. I don't know. We can keep it simple. We can say write a Google Apps script function that retrieves where's the link? Oh, right here. Retrieves animes from this URL and appends to Google Sheet, to a new Google Sheet named anime. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Let's try it. Most selling manga would definitely be One Piece. Access everything that existed on the internet using archive.org API. That is a very good one as well.
Oh man.
Okay, see, it knows it's an XML endpoint and it shows you how to parse the XML response. And it kind of, picked out a few different column headers to use. Isn't that amazing? It even created a new spreadsheet. Anyways, definitely check this out. This is amazing. It can do all the work for you if you know the right words. All right, William, what do you think? Who should we award the swag drop to?
Are we gonna award it now, huh? Hmm. I'm thinking. Ooh.
Which
Let's
one
see.
do you
Which
like the
one?
most?
Which one was the? Oh, there's a Spotify one. I'm biased because I'm a big music fan. Hashtag Spotify Rap 2022. Anyone? Sorry if you use Apple Music. Let's see. I think the one that we used, anime dashboard, any anime launch or season starting soon. The news network was good. Seeing one about books, the top 10 fantasy books. Ooh, I kind of like this one. Too much new anime. We could get a dashboard of top selling manga every 10 years for the past 3 decades.
Yeah,
This,
let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. We got it? Is that it?
I don't know. What do you think, Wei? You think this is good?
Yeah, I like it. Thank you so much, Indigo Wizard. Please take a screenshot and open a Discord ticket for your very own personal swag drop. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congrats. You just got some swag.
All right. So with that, let us open it up for Q&A. We'll have time for just a few questions if, in the interest of time. If you have anything pressing, please message them. Or if there's anything you want me to try with the OpenGPT, let me know. To answer Joanna's question earlier, do I use a Google spreadsheet to keep track of all my credit cards? I did. I did. I had a Google spreadsheet with all the card art, all the credit limit, all the dates, and all the balances, etc., just to to serve as my digital representation of my credit card collection. For those of you who don't know, I have over 30 credit cards, and that was how I tracked it.
Yeah, that should have been your fun fact, Way.
30
But
credit
I like the
cards.
GitHub one better.
Too many people know it.
FBI open up. Oh God,
FBF.
love to see it. Any closing thoughts? Oh, we're getting a question. What is your best anime? All right,
What do you think? What is yours?
and that's an important one. I'm gonna go with Rurouni Kenshin because we practically grew up on that one, and I still watch it sometimes today.
Yep, and for me, it's Dragon Ball Z. I watched it when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, find out
Oh,
next time on the next
yeah.
episode. Ask ChatGPT to do something fun.
Do something fun. Cool. Let's see. Tell me a joke.
Tell me a joke.
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
No, I like that.
Oh, yeah, let's try it.
Probably better than the joke that Siri gives me.
Right, and in it's so funny. I can't copy paste, unfortunately, from StreamYard, so we will have to skip that one. You can send it to me on Discord. I'll let you know what ChatGPT tells us. Why was the math book sad? Because it had too many problems.
But anyone? Oh, we getting some anime recommendations in the chat too. Love to see it. All right, and with that, I think we're done with questions. Unless anyone has any last minute charge, I think we can wrap it up here. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for coming through to see Wei's very first stream. Drop a line in the chat if you want to see more Wei in the future, because we have Global Hack Weeks running all the time. All right, thanks everyone. Take care. Be well.
Yeah, thank you so much, William, for bringing me into this stream. And our next stream is using streaming chat APIs for interactive experiences, part 2 with Dimmer. I went to a session yesterday and it was so fun. So please make sure you don't miss it. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern in 30 minutes.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.